Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Yeah, welcome to the Monday Morning Recap Show. It's actually morning somewhere. Where is that, Delco Dan?
California.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm.
Also Vegas.
Vegas too.
Well, Vegas and California are in the same time zone.
Oh, well, I'm smart.
So
Yeah.
Arizona's not.
Yeah.
No.
Mountain time's still morning. It's 11:30 there now.
Good for us.
You guys are just
Good for us.
Progress.
Progress. You're goddamn right. It was a long night for us last night. We called that fight live. Thanks for everybody for tuning into that. We had a blast, some of us. Some of us did not, Giorgio, because MMA lost again to Jake Paul last night.
We all won money. I'm still confused on why you keep saying this.
You picked Woodley. I'm sorry. What did you win on exactly?
Our lock of the night was the over and the full fight.
Wait,
now,
what?
if you want to like go ahead and dial this back tape, me and Delco Dan were like, "Yo, that plus 600. Put all of your money
Giorgio,
on that."
stop. Why do you look like Doc from Back to the Future right now?
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening back
What is
there?
happening back? Cut your
If
hair.
you say Great Scott, do it.
No.
Cut your hair.
Keep
Say
it
Great
going.
Scott. Say Great Scott for the people.
Great Scott.
There it is. Look, you guys picked Woodley. Bob, that was another embarrassment.
What was the over? 4.5?
3.5.
3.5.
3.5, really?
But that was minus 160.
Yeah.
But 6-1 goes the distance.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I took that.
Yeah, Delco, both you guys took that.
I took Jake Paul to win in a
in the
decision,
distance.
and I
Yeah.
took the distance.
And so did you as well. I had a knockout, but I took Jake Paul, obviously.
But I was still pulling for Woodley.
Well, whatever, man. Money's money.
Heart wants what the heart wants.
It does, but I'll still bet against my favorite team if need be. Hence the Falcons. The biggest loser of the night, though, is Paige Van Sant. Let's go to that two-shot of me real quick. Thank you. Need it, Paige. $10,000 you now owe the USO Paige Van Sant.
And you owe us a fucking dog.
A dog, yeah, your dog. So we want that $10,000 to the USO. Looking forward to you writing that check. Couple things that I saw last night that were worrisome for any Jake Paul fans out there. One, I thought both of those fighters did not look like actual boxers and looked like shit. Two, I think it hurt Jake Paul the most because he had these flashy knockouts and everything else. And then you had a guy who just walked in there like this with a wide stance that he should have knocked out in
It's not how he's fighting.
2 rounds. Yes.
He was going against his natural instincts of changing levels in UFC, so he had to overthink everything he was doing. But yeah, no, I mean,
But
and Woodley,
he's not a boxer.
no,
And neither is Jake Paul.
Right.
Neither
Right.
is Jake.
Right.
But,
Right.
but also Woodley, like that's kind of like his rap. That's kind of what held him back in the UFC too, is that he's gun shy. Like he doesn't, for whatever reason, thinks I can only throw so many punches. Like it's like a limited currency I have, and I can only spend so many punches during certain rounds. I think he only threw 6 punches in the first round.
Also, there's what I said to Paige, and she took his side because they're in the same camp. But what I said to her has proven to be true multiple times now, that somebody who has other training and a different type of fighting going into somebody that only trains against a boxer in a boxing match is at a disadvantage because of that.
Yeah.
Because you could see, I mean, he pointed it out as soon as we started talking about it today. Instead of changing your parallel, he's changing his vertical angle too much because you have to worry about the takedown.
Right.
Or you're trying to feint into a fake takedown or whatever it is, right?
Right.
You could see him doing it for like the first, 4 or 5 rounds before he finally stopped doing that shit. Boxing is all about katas. I see this stimulus and I throw this 3, 4, 5, 6-piece combo, whatever it happens to be. And you, more likely than not, you're going to win if you just stick to your game plan like that, if it's a good game plan against your opponent. And that's what happened.
And shouts to Jake's team for scouting Tyron Woodley. Like they knew when he kind of like falls back, that overhand right's going to come. And every time he went for it, Jake, like he missed Jake by a mile.
Yes. By the way, I rewatched the show, or the show, I guess, because it's not, they're not boxers anymore. I had some hope that Jake Paul could actually become a real boxer. I did not after last night. So I rewatched the fight when I got home last night. I still had the scoring the exact same way. I said it live on air last night. I thought it was 6-2, potentially 5-3. I would lean on 5-3. The judges afterwards, because we weren't able to have the volume up that loud in here, so we couldn't hear it. We wouldn't get dinged by YouTube. 2 of the judges did have it 5-3, Jake, and then one had it fucking 6-2 for Woodley. I don't know where that came
Brave
from.
man. Just a brave man. No, I'm kidding.
Or they were getting ready to set up the rematch, but
Yeah.
It's all made up. They probably just fucking did that because there was no drama in the fight. So maybe we get one moment of drama in the fucking decision reading afterwards.
The splits were both 77-75, and then the one judge gave it 78-74.
yeah, and which that's true. I had it at about 5-3 or 6-2, and that's exactly what it was.
Listen, Jake won the boxing match. Tyron won the fight.
Yes,
He did
well.
more
Yeah, but you could say that about fucking the
For the
last
people.
half of Floyd Mayweather's career, right?
Yeah,
He's not
yeah.
trying to win fights anymore. He's trying to win boxing matches, and that's
Right.
it.
And
Right.
He's also a boxer, though.
Jake was gassed.
Yes, correct.
Jake was
Correct.
gassed at the end, but he kept hitting him with that jab. So that's a point. Every time he hits him with that jab, it's more points.
I
So,
guess.
yeah.
Look, if there is a rematch, Jake definitely needs to work on his fucking cardio and
Yeah.
go after him
Got
in those
gassed
first
pretty
two
easy.
rounds. Yeah. And then for Woodley, the positives for him are you look at that fight, he was very close to a knockout. If there is a rematch in this, he can go back and look at that and continue to train, get better, and he might have a better shot against Jake Paul in the next round.
He whiffed on a knockout. Like the
Oh,
one
yeah,
where
yeah.
he put Paul in the ropes and Paul's head was just out here and Woodley just whiffed on. Like
Yeah.
completely fucking missed. He could have put it right in his ear.
Why would you? Let me ask you this: if you're a young person getting into MMA right now, seeing what's going on, why would you go work for Dana White when you can gain popularity through other methods, doing stupid shit on social media, and bring your audience to the fight and make more money and fight in a style of fighting that makes more sense for you? I don't understand why these punchers are still going into UFC right now at a young age.
You're making it seem like it's really easy to grow this giant fan base and become like a multi-million, YouTube, Instagram celebrity, like to draw that audience in. A lot of these fighters don't have that. They don't have that ability that Jake Paul and Logan Paul have to like garner this audience. They're fighters. They're good at fighting.
And we
They need
have
someone to do
we have
everything
the
else.
same difficulty on our YouTube channel. I mean, shit, we've got 3,500 on this sports channel. Like, it is fucking hard to grow a following. You're correct.
Well, I don't think most of these folks are even trying. I don't think they see it. Like
That's what I'm saying. They're training.
they're training.
Francis Ngannou and Henry Cejudo are the two that stand out right now because they've openly complained about the pay situation over there. But what are you doing to make yourself a brand? Ryan Garcia has been posting, this young boxer has been posting videos of himself
Right.
lighting up a fucking bag and how fast his hands are and his head movement and shit and his knockout power.
Right.
For years
Yeah.
now. He's what, 20 fights or so into his professional career, but he's got maybe 1 billion views on the internet because of it. And I'm telling you, once this kid starts winning titles and maybe gaining muscle mass and weight and fighting in different classes or maybe doing some of these fights like against people that are coming over from MMA or whatever, he's going to make millions and millions of dollars because of that, because he's
Right.
done the fucking work. The work isn't just done in the gym anymore, man.
I do want to pause both of you here to answer both your questions real quick, because this brings me back to like a really cool point, is that it kind of proves that MMA is about the competition. It's not.
I agree
It's
with
not
you.
about the payday. It's not about being a prize fighter, and that's why these MMA fighters are coming over after their career. Once
some
they've
guys that are
fulfilled,
prize fighters.
that competitive need inside them for what drives them to be a fighter and to compete, then they're coming over into this boxing, coming into a payday. They're not fighting. They're not at the highest level anymore. Like
I mean,
mentally, it's not there.
Conor McGregor is the perfect example of what you're talking about right now, because as soon as he got rich, it was over, right?
Yeah.
Prize fighter at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a
Diaz.
prize fighter after 2016, right?
Yeah.
That's all it's
Which
been.
depletes the sport, to be honest. It depletes the quality of the product.
It does in a way, only if the prize fighting aspect is only a sideshow. If people that are serious about the sport get involved in prize fighting, then it should grow the sport exponentially, because a rising tide lifts all boats, right? It's going to bring more eyeballs that were previously not focused on that kind of entertainment onto it, regardless of what happens. So the people at the top of the class, talent-wise, should be taking these fights against Paul or McGregor or whomever else and
Yep.
putting it on a bigger stage.
It does seem like the answer is to make it a circus. Doesn't that seem a little bit disrespectful to the sport in a tiny bit?
I don't think making it a circus is really is a good way to describe it. You want it all of sports is entertainment.
Right.
That's all it is. The only reason that
Because
it
of the
continues
level,
to
because of the
exist-
level of the sportsmanship on display, correct?
Well, I would say the spectrum of sportsmanship. Like when it gets really bad, it's entertaining, and when it gets really good, it's inspiring, right? But that's the fucking point. It is a mirror up to human society. Like, this is the best we can do, and this is the worst we can do. It's fucking faces and it's heels, right? And it's been a marketing apparatus used since the beginning of time. Floyd Mayweather figured it out when he went from Pretty Boy Floyd or whatever. Or
well, I challenged that with Stone Cold Steve Austin. He wasn't a heel. He wasn't a hero. He was by himself, the man who stood and walked alone.
But also, the belts don't really hold any weight in the UFC at this point.
Because they do in WWE, like he was saying about
But
Stone
like
Cold.
Poirier, if you offered him Nate Diaz right now instead of Oliveira, I think he takes the Nate Diaz fight just to get paid again. Because he's going to win that fight. He's going to get paid. And then he's like, all right, that title shot will still be there.
Yeah. Probably. But that's kind of where we are. We watched it last night. I was not impressed with anyone on that card at all.
Oh, no. Homeboy in the fur. He was the biggest winner of the night.
Love was really good.
Kind of. But he should have fucking...
That was a great fight.
He should have got that guy out of there and won.
Dubois?
Instead, he looked at the crowd. Do you remember? No, Dubois was the only one.
That's what I'm saying. Dubois really put it down.
He's talking about the guy in the fur where it was just like, all right, cool.
That was a great fight. That was the best fight of the night.
I guess.
He got that Russian out of here.
I guess.
In fur.
Yeah. He should have got him out in 2. Either way, I didn't think last night's card was very entertaining. I don't know what this does for Jake Paul going forward, if he can sell. I don't know if it's Woodley or if it's someone else they're going to have to put up against him for numbers. But
I think the next fight, he's going to have to fight somebody that people think is going to beat him. That's what I think. Otherwise, why tune in?
I think
if it's another Askren or another 39-year-old non-puncher, not that Woodley wasn't a striker from MMA standpoint, but he's not a boxer, right?
I'm gonna throw a couple names here.
Okay.
It's either McGregor or keep an eye. I know this sounds crazy.
I think
keep an eye on
McGregor's the
De La
goal.
Hoya.
I think the goal is McGregor. It's always has been. Like that's the pinnacle of this is to get to Conor, and so that's going to be like 2 years from now because Conor's got to heal and he's got to live out. I think one more fight on his contract.
It's just one in the UFC.
I think so.
Okay.
So,
but is Dana going to let him come back fight once and then leave?
Well, if he only has one left.
Yeah, but Dana has to schedule the fight.
But you guys also don't know what something super interesting is. If you fight for a title fight, it automatically adds 2 more fights to
I don't
your
think
contract.
he wants to fight for the title.
I'm saying don't put it past Dana to throw Conor back up in there just to keep that money rolling.
Well, maybe.
And me and Delco Dan broke the simulation already. It's Jake Paul versus a returning Mike Tyson.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
At 205.
Logan. I heard it's Logan actually. I heard Logan might fight.
Forget Logan.
Mike Tyson.
Jake versus Mike Tyson would break every pay-per-view record there is because you just want to see Mike Tyson knock
him
out.
out. Yeah, and I think he would.
I don't
After last
think
night's-
that's not the move though. You can't put him up against somebody that people know is going to fuck him up. You have to put him up against people who are like he's probably going to get fucked. If you put Mike Tyson in the ring with Jake Paul, he's getting fucked.
I think the age you might just be able to sell it a tiny bit.
No,
There's that
I think everyone
little
buys it to
sliver.
see him get knocked out.
That's why everyone buys it
exactly,
already.
Yes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but that's Jake Paul's fucking cash cow. He's not going to give it up now.
Right.
But
Like
that's the biggest payday you'll ever
Oh, it would be great.
I mean,
wouldn't
he
it?
can already retire.
I mean, how much
Yeah.
money does he want? I mean, what would it be worth? Floyd Mayweather made $300 million off that Conor McGregor fight, right?
And do you really
so if
want
you
to keep
offer them,
boxing?
If you offer them both something like that, why not take it, get knocked down, and walk away? Who gives a shit?
He also said after the fight, like he's going to take some time off. So
Who did? Jake?
Jake.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, look, he's been going hard for a while now with this. I would as well. And you want to keep that lore going, right? He's still 4-0. He still did win pretty convincingly last night, in my opinion, except for that one round where he almost got knocked out, obviously.
It's pretty clear, though, this is like the baseline that he cannot pass now. It's like I can't find anybody more legit than Woodley.
Correct.
Because I'll get my ass beat.
Or look, De La Hoya's training right now. He's got a fight coming up. I don't know what he did, but he's fucking shredded. They showed some training footage the other day, and I was like, of De La Hoya, and I was like, oh, fuck. Find somebody older,
steroids.
Exactly. Find somebody older like a De La Hoya or a Tyson or somebody like that.
You know who's still looking for fights is fucking Manny Pacquiao.
Oh,
Manny Pacquiao would do anything.
Manny Pacquiao would fucking rock him.
Yeah, he's too good.
Too good.
He's too good.
He's
I
too
mean,
good.
fucking Logan fought Floyd.
I know it's a step down in competition and maybe not that big of a name, but in order to get into that Conor circle, maybe he takes that Dylan Danis fight. So then he beats Dylan and then kind of calls out Conor. Conor tries to defend his boy. Conor will be involved in some capacity.
Yeah.
Didn't Manny Pacquiao just get beat by?
He did. A guy on 11 days' notice.
Yeah.
Ugla or something like that.
Yeah, and that's what the article I was reading was just like, Pacquiao needs to stop. What is he doing?
I mean, I would like to see him fight De La Hoya, though.
yeah.
Yeah. Look, that's entertaining.
That would be really. It's 2 of the best fighters of all time.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it is. That's 2 of the probably top 25 boxers of all time, right there.
Yeah, you got to think of somebody over the age of 40, somebody that has combat sports experience. It's like any
I would
former
say-
UFC. Chuck can get in there. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing that I found most interesting last night was we've covered all of this shit now at this point, UFC and boxing and everything else. The bare knuckle boxing shit, man, it's kind of been the funnest because it's bloody as shit. Somebody's getting the fuck kicked out of them immediately. Last night, there was a bunch of those people. We were just like, will you hurry the fuck up, dude? I just want to see the Jake Paul fight. Whereas bare knuckle boxing, you don't really give a shit who's in there. You don't need a name. Somebody's going away with their fucking eyeball hanging
But what
out
if
of
you
their face.
what if you add names to it though? You
That's
know
what I'm
I mean?
saying, yes.
And frankly, from what I can tell from watching bare knuckle fighting for the last 3 to 5 months, off and on, but more so lately, is that there's no greater proclivity to injury in that sport than there is in MMA or they're probably in boxing, yes, but not in MMA for sure.
Yeah.
Like people, you're involving 2 additional limbs in MMA, right? That we saw with Connor. We've seen a bunch of dudes break their legs offensively, breaking their legs. Right?
Yeah, it's vastly more dangerous in MMA than even in bare knuckle boxing. Like
sure.
you'll see a lot of damage, you'll see a lot of blood. It'll look very grotesque and gross, but like you're not tearing all the ligaments in your knee, you're not destroying your back, you're not breaking your neck. You know, it's a little different.
They're I wouldn't say necessarily superficial injuries, but they're certainly not as severe, or they don't. That's not the right word. They don't take as long to recover from than torn ligaments and shit. You know what I mean? They don't,
No massive structural damage.
Right. You get like punched in the rib cage and break ribs. Yeah, that sucks, right? Or you break your hand on something, that sucks. But that's like 5 weeks, and then you start rehab. You know what I mean? That's way different than tearing a ligament and being out for fucking 8 to 12 months, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole year of your career. It's fucked up so many. If everything in a perfect world, the way the UFC has gone, without certain injuries here and there, the right, quote unquote, right person would have become champion, but they were outside of their window for fighting or whatever because they got an injury, or their run got stopped because of injury. I mean, the same thing with the Warriors. Look at what happened with them. With what happens if KD and
Clay are healthy?
Clay don't get hurt. They fucking run that series. Does KD still leave? I don't think he does.
Also, you got to factor in Dana being a stickler. Some fights just don't happen because he doesn't want to pay like John Jones to fight Francis for, I don't know, $30 million.
Yeah, by the way, I found out the answer to that KD thing. He did a podcast actually with Draymond Green. I don't know if you guys caught it. It was very, very interesting. He actually asked him why he left live on the show, and KD said, look, that argument we got into, I was pissed off because all the coaching staff and the owners had taken Draymond Green's side, and he felt embarrassed by it. They set a meeting for the two of them to get together and do it. Neither one of them would, and they said that KD said that ownership in particular was very fucking. They treated him like a little kid of like, hey, we need you to go make up with Draymond and do this other shit, and they didn't take KD's side.
And then after that, I think his biggest gripe was they just treated like it never happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the team did.
Yeah.
And so he was like, fuck you guys, I'm out of here. But he had no doubt that they would have continued winning. And I don't either, to be honest with you. If Clay and Steph stay healthy, I mean, Clay and KD stay healthy, yeah, that team would have been dominant for years and years and years. But I don't know what the fuck he's doing anyway. So we'll see. We'll switch it up here and go with college football. It was opening weekend. By the way, those of you who were just tuning in from the Ben Shapiro show that was live on Drinkin' Bros, there was a lag in the Zoom on Ben Shapiro's side. However, we have clean audio and video that is coming in, so we will replay that tonight perfectly crystal clear at 8 o'clock Eastern. But fantastic interview with Ben Shapiro. College football, I picked 3 out of 4 this weekend. It was pretty much chalk, kind of.
Because like most people were on Illinois.
A lot of it.
It was like a trendy.
I think people are off Nebraska more than they're on Illinois, but Illinois did look pretty good.
Well, and here's the thing. Their quarterback broke his collarbone, and the second string came in and beat the shit out of them.
Art Satowski or Sikowski from Rutgers.
Yeah, Scott Frost was not happy, by the way, and Nebraska fans are not happy with Scott Frost. So,
isn't that what you want out of your second string quarterback, though? A system quarterback to be able to slot right in, run the basics, and just continue taking over.
I guess, but how terrible does that mean your team is? Where a second string quarterback?
He did put a ball like perfect, like 40 yards downfield into the fucking basket.
Yeah.
To their, I think, former 4th string quarterback.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
It was wild, but Nebraska to lead off the season with a bad L to a second string quarterback at Illinois.
That's Burt Ball, baby.
He doesn't make it through to next year, Scott Frost. There's no way at this point.
No, I think Scott's going to be gone after this year. But, I mean, Burt's back in the Big Ten.
He is.
Illinois, I think Illinois, he can get Illinois to the point where they'll win 8 games a year, 9 games a year.
Yeah, which is respectable. You're not going to expect anything more out of them, right? That's not. That'll never be a playoff
was like the
team.
last great Illinois team? Richard Mendenhall.
They went to the BCS in 2007 with Mendenhall, and I think Juice Williams was the quarterback. They won the Big Ten in 2001, so they've got a little history there. But like, it's one of those schools where you just look at it and you're like, wait, why were you never really good on a consistent basis?
It's not like a hotbed of recruiting for football like it is basketball.
It isn't. Yeah,
Well, it's insane that they're not good at basketball every year with Chicago in their fucking state.
they're pretty fucking decent. Illinois always get a pretty decent basketball team. Isn't Cockburn up there?
Yeah, he didn't transfer.
Yeah.
He
he
both
stayed.
entered the draft, entered the transfer portal, and did neither.
They're going to be really good next year. I think Illinois is going to be really good at basketball. Football, not so much. UCLA versus UAE. Blowout, as we predicted. People won a lot of money this weekend off of us, which was great. Got a lot of thanks on the UCLA thing. I did not think Hawaii was that bad.
Did you put anything on
were.
UConn Fresno State? Because they did cover.
I did. Yes, we did. So
And UConn proved that that's not even a football team.
No.
If you lose by 45 points to Fresno State, you don't have a football team.
Fresno's okay this year.
Bulldogs.
But UConn didn't play football last year at all. So,
Yeah.
that kind of hurts.
it hurts.
And as Dan said before, Fresno State went 3-3 without seeing each other for a year.
Yeah, they did. So last year with COVID, they couldn't participate in team activities. Everything was online from like March to September. And I think like they showed up week 1 and were like, hey, let's put a football team together. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. But they won. Who was the third game that day?
UTEP and New Mexico.
Oh, that was the
State.
last game. So we sent a guy, Lasro Lopez, out there, which everybody seemed to enjoy. So we're going to keep sending him to games. He'll be at the Texas game. Find him. Take a picture with him. He will buy you a beer. He will be in the last row at a stadium near you. He'll be at the Texas. Actually, that Texas game is shaping out to be pretty good. I did not realize that Lafayette, Louisiana was ranked.
Yeah, Louisiana's
Raging
Cajuns are legit. They brought back like everyone.
I would say there's a pretty good chance they end up on top of Texas for the year rankings wise, because Texas shits the bed every year.
Right.
Dude.
Look,
Would it really surprise you too, Sark's first game at Texas, if they just blow this?
I've already, by the way, the reason why I bring it up, I've already bet it, and I took the points. I'm getting 9.5 for Louisiana, and I took the points, man.
9.5. That's high. It should be 6.5.
Really high. Yes, and with a 6-point teaser, you can go up to 15.5.
I'll give them 6.5 for being in Austin, but that's it.
That's it.
Unfortunately, we can't talk about this game outside the top 25 for me and Rob's show.
No, you can't, because they're both in, which we were shocked by.
Decent chance we'll get to talk about one of them after that fucking.
Yeah, that's true.
And I hope it's Texas. So
I really hope it's
bad.
Oh, it will be. It will. I don't think they're going to win that game. I really don't.
Louisiana went into Ames last year and beat Iowa State.
Yes, they did.
This team's not afraid to go to a D1, a P5 school, and fucking play like they're used to it. Like they don't get to host games, so this is the only way they play P5 schools.
Well, especially
really.
after this week with Ida or whatever.
Yeah, they are playing for a little extra for their state,
And there is actually breaking news on that, because one of these games was
Tulane
shifted.
just got moved
Correct.
to Norman.
Yes.
Against.
I'll be honest.
they're
New
playing
Orleans didn't
Oklahoma.
look great, so that doesn't surprise me.
Look, the power's out. We don't have too many reports from New Orleans.
They did downgrade the Hurricane, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
homeboy Sean Payton said today he doesn't think they're going to be able to start the season there. So.
Correct. He said returning this week is not likely to New Orleans. And then, in Saints news, they did pick Crab Legs as their quarterback to start the season there in New Orleans. So, look.
He's going to light it up.
He is. He can see now.
We'll see.
When he won a national championship, not being able to see things.
He was dropping dimes in that last
The last time
preseason
New
game.
Orleans was coming off a hurricane into a football season, it went pretty well for them.
Yeah,
So
and won the Super Bowl.
guess
I don't
we'll see.
I, don't
I mean,
think they're winning
that
this
wasn't
year.
after the hurricane. That's when their stadium was. You could play in it again, right?
Right.
Katri-
Was
the-
it 2009.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Katrina game was when they went into it was the Falcons game, right? Where
Yeah.
the block punt and
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Last game of the week 0 was Southern Utah at San Jose State. Did anybody bet on that? San Jose State was pretty good last year, right?
Yeah, they won the Mountain West.
Yeah.
What was the score of that one?
It was 45-14. They whipped Southern Utah, but I don't remember.
Spread was 26.
The spread was 20. Yeah, so they got it. I mean,
got
look, It's hard.
I didn't bet that game.
It's hard to tell how bad a team is before you see them. I mean, UConn, I guess we could have known. I was skeptical about taking those points, giving up that amount of points because Fresno State is not like a historically good football team, but UConn has no football team. San Jose State,
They'd probably prefer if they had no football team.
right at this point, yeah, they're basically Rutgers. Why you're a fucking
Whoa!
You're
Let's not talk about Shiano that way.
You're an old Big East or whatever team. You don't need to have a football team. Just play basketball.
Rutgers is the oldest football team in the country, right?
Rutgers won the first
I think the
national
United
championship.
States. I think the United States military academies put together the first team.
I think Rutgers won in like 1896.
But they probably won.
No, 1869.
1869. That's right.
The
That's
first
right.
natty.
Good for them. Good for them.
Robert
and
E.
all they
Lee
do.
was still alive when Rutgers won their national championship.
Was he really?
Hang the
Yeah.
banner.
Hang the banner, dude. Celebrate it. Celebrate it now. It's the time. Also in college, by the way, drinkinbrostickets.com. We have tickets for all of this, so you can join. I'll be there. I think Lázaro Lopez will be there. I'm taking my kids to the game on Saturday.
This Saturday?
In Texas, yes. I'm taking the kids there, so I'll be there at some point. Find us. We'll be wearing Drinkin' Bros shirts. And again, if you find Lázaro Lopez, he'll buy you a beer. That is real. Just take a picture with him. Vols are going to start Michigan transfer Milton at quarterback. Are the Vols back?
No, they're trash. Heupel is going to be gone in 2 years.
Yep.
2 years. He is not ever going to get his guys in there because they're going to want him gone so fucking fast.
This is why I teed up this story, because they picked off half of UCF's.
Yeah, they took Danny White as their AD, and then
Yep.
for whatever reason, Danny White thought it would be a good idea to bring the coach in that kind of squandered UCF's talent the last 2 years. So, good luck, Josh.
I remember this kid from Michigan.
Milton?
Yeah, what was his first
Dual
name?
threat. Blanking on it right now.
Here's what's going to happen. He's going to throw 50 passes a game.
Joe Milton III.
That's right.
Oh, he's another three sticks, dude.
Yep. He's going to throw 50 passes a game. They're going to go 3 and out on like every series pretty much because they don't even have the talent like to run the Heupel offense.
Well, here's the thing with the Heupel offense is it does have success early on, but he runs the same 4 plays all game. So you kind of pick up after the second drive what's going to happen. And then immediately, you go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out,
In
defense on the field all the time.
Yeah.
neck speed.
Yes.
Like 3 and out in less than 90 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So that defense is going to be real tired.
And Dan and I will be doing our college football show tomorrow with the top 25 picks because we got a full slate, including Thursday nights with Ohio State against Minnesota at minus 13.5. And then UCF is playing
Boise
about an hour before, right?
UCF's -5. It's on ESPN.
Who are you taking in that? I'll ask you now because I've already made my Ohio State pick public and I've bet on it. I took Ohio State minus 13.5.
I like Boise this year. I like Bachmeier, obviously. But I think this is a statement game from Gus. I believe it's a massive coaching upgrade going from fucking Heupel to Gus Bus. And, the guy that used to coach at Boise took his job, so I feel like he's going to make a little bit of a statement.
Is it at UCF?
It's at UCF.
It
in
is?
Bounce House, yeah.
Okay.
Full capacity. Yeah, we're going to be good.
Yeah, I'll lean on that. Is it? What's the spread? Minus what?
5.
Minus 5. Yeah. I don't even look at non-top 25 spreads, but I'll throw a little cash on that, even though I always bet on Boise.
Yeah.
Everybody
Gabriel's
knows
a
that on the
third-year
show.
quarterback for UCF. Got plenty of weapons. We'll be fine.
I might put a 6-point teaser on that and take Boise the other way, but we'll see. The 6-point teasers are back, baby.
Yeah, if you're going to go to – you take Boise up to 11, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Minus 11 there. We'll switch on over to the NFL here. Talks are heating up for Deshaun Watson. The 2 leading teams to take him are the Dolphins right now and Carolina Panthers. Would Carolina then give up Durr, or does he get involved in that trade? One of the guys, they're not saying which team it is, that was in the lead for this, backed off at the last second. This GM leaked the story to the press, and he said they were asking for 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks for Deshaun Watson. That's a lot.
They'll probably get it. I mean, look, the Dolphins have those picks to give. They have extra first-round picks every year from 2022 until 2026, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you're right.
They may
you're
be
right.
missing one of those years,
Yeah.
but they have at least 4 first-round
They
picks
were racking
right now.
up picks.
Yep. But look at their team right now. They've got good skill position players. They've got a very good defense.
It's a good team. They need a
Right?
quarterback.
So they have
It's a good team.
They have their first round pick moving forward, and they can give up the extra one they have every year, and then just surrender some second round picks and get Deshaun Watson. Fuck yeah, you do that.
100%.
Of course you do it.
I agree. Whether or not they will, all I will say is this: the coach Flores, whoever the fuck that is,
Former D coordinator for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Under Belichick.
Amid the speculation, he is saying he wants high character players on his roster. Deshaun Watson does not fit that mold.
According
I don't know
to whom.
What's that?
According to whom does Deshaun Watson not fit that mold?
For high character?
Yeah.
According to his Instagram DMs. So.
In what way? I haven't seen these DMs and what they say exactly. If it's, hey, can I get a hand job? That's not really a problem for me.
Well, if you're paying a licensed masseuse who does not give hand jobs, it is a problem.
Why? Why is that an issue? I mean, you could say that prostitution is illegal there or whatever, but it's not like he is assaulting people. That's not the same thing.
Correct. But you still can't just ask.
Well, he probably didn't know, and he's heard the rumors about massage parlors, so he kindly and politely asked.
Yeah, right. These were actual real ones who were getting brought to the house and things like that. So
listen,
you know where you're going to get an HJ at a massage parlor and where you
personally,
there's an app.
Yeah, no,
it's a rub and tug app.
You're right. But personally, I just think you bring in Tua's dad to beat his ass into being a good quarterback.
Ooh, is Tiger Woods' dad still alive?
No.
Damn,
But I agree. Tua has fallen off the farther away he gets from his dad's beatings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his dad needs to just be mean to him again.
What happened to the brother, though, is what I can't figure out. Because
he's at Maryland.
He transferred, so he's at Maryland.
Yeah,
is he getting
starting.
beaten properly? Is he going to be any good this year?
For Loxley, I don't know. He was very hit or miss last year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's starting for Maryland. Maryland's going to probably win 5 games, maybe.
That's not good, though.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, 5 wins for Maryland is pretty good.
If they were playing Texas every game, they would win every game.
Yeah, instead of going undefeated.
Well, you could say that about a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Texas finds a way. They're like the Cubs, man. They just find a way. Or the Braves in the 90s. They get all the way up to the finish line and then jam a stick into their own spokes.
Yep. See you later.
What happened, guys? Can you believe it?
You just described every team in Atlanta, by the way.
Yeah, well, every team in Texas, too.
Yeah. The coach of the Dolphins went on to say, as far as Tua goes, he's taken a step as far as leadership and working with his teammates to get things right. He is asking more questions to us and the coaching staff and has made some very good strides. However, he stopped short of calling him a good quarterback. I would trade for Deshaun Watson, man. I mean, fucking A. I don't think Tua's the dude.
I mean, it's only going to be, at worst case scenario, it's going to be a year rental. So you just have to decide what you're willing to give up for that. If you're the Dolphins and you have Tua and you think he might be good at some point, and I hope they believe that because they drafted #1 overall, right? You fucking better believe that. Then you can punt a year, bring in a guy for sure is successful, on the field at least, with the right weapons around him, and see what happens. The worst case scenario is you lose some draft picks down the line that you were going to use to get a veteran player at some point anyways. They're not just going to keep drafting forever. That would be stupid.
Also, you're in Miami. I think he wants to be there.
I do too.
If you trade for anybody, I think they want to stay.
There are
in
a lot more numbers he can call down there that won't result in fucking criminal charges.
Yes. I think you're good, and he probably wants that.
He'll just get the number from that
Bob
dude,
Kraft.
Bob Kraft went to. Why did I say the dude Bob Kraft went to? I don't know why.
It was a lady.
It was a lady,
It was
right?
a lady.
Did you see it on camera?
Yeah. Well, they burned the tapes. That was part of the deal. By the way, the GM who leaked this story, I have a feeling it was Philadelphia. Because I heard they were getting real close, and then finally he was just like, fuck you. We don't have 3 firsts and 2 seconds to give you.
I don't.
That's
Maybe.
my guess.
I don't know.
The Dolphins are the only team in the NFL that have the assets to do what they're asking for right there.
Yeah.
Right? Which is probably why that is the ask from the Texans, because they know they can do it. Mm-hmm. And they're going to pitch it to all their other teams, and the other teams can't do it either. And then they'll probably agree on 2 first and 2 second round picks, and that'll be the end of it.
Get it done. The only thing that I can think of that is stopping this deal is they're probably looking into his past right now and saying, all right, are we going to give up 5 picks for a guy that could be in prison in a year or something else? We'll see. Moving on to another team with a quarterback issue, that is the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick has said today that he is undecided on a starting quarterback after the last preseason finale. Is that Mac Jones?
He did it last year, right? Same thing. It's just
You think Cam's going to start?
classic Belichick. Probably.
Mac Jones has looked pretty
Probably
fucking
start
good.
the season.
Belichick doesn't want to say anything to anyone.
No.
He's just like, fuck you. I'm not telling you. He didn't want to tell anyone anything.
No.
Mac Jones is pretty fucking good, dude.
I think Mac Jones is going to be pretty fucking good. I just don't know if
fits the system better or whatever. I mean, he's going to cater the offense to Cam, so it's going to be a lot of run-first options. But yeah, he'll probably get hurt at some point this season and slide in Mac Jones, and
that'll be that.
Yeah, then Mac Jones is the new Brady.
Yeah.
Cam's the new Bledsoe.
Yeah.
And it's just another 20 years of dominance.
Bledsoe got Wally Pipp, though, didn't he? Didn't he get hurt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why Brady took over?
Yeah.
And then he went to Buffalo.
Yeah, and that happens. That happens, Buffalo, though, is on the come up. I'm high on Buffalo.
It's a good year for Chet.
Chet's high on Buffalo.
Chet Scoveland, by the way, made his first picks Friday.
1-0.
1-0. He won. So if you're on mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin' Bros, double your deposits. Go with Chet. Chet is 1-0 on the season. Bills covered in that preseason game. No one bets preseason like Chet Scoveland, by the way.
He knows it. It's in his blood.
He lives it. He lives that life.
Yeah. He's been in the trenches.
What you want is somebody who's played, who can tell you what's going to happen.
He knows what that practice squad looks like.
Yeah. The Jaguars, by the way, with Lawrence, there's a rumor that they're trying to figure this the fuck out there. He's been named the starter, obviously, Trevor Lawrence.
That's a mistake, by the way, and it's not because Trevor Lawrence isn't ready to play football in the NFL. It's because Gardner Minshew has a much lower ceiling. And
you didn't hear.
Go ahead and throw him. Is he gone?
Yes. They traded him to the Eagles.
Welcome to Philadelphia.
Welcome. That was where we were going. Welcome to Philadelphia there.
So now they've got C.J. Beathard.
Oh, Beat Hard. I like to call him Beat Hard.
Who, I like Beathard.
Jake Luton.
It's Beat Hard.
Oh, Luton from Oregon State?
I don't know or care. All I know is that Trevor Lawrence is now going to get wrecked. He's Joe Burrow 2.0, man.
Yeah.
This is insane.
If they could figure it out. I watched their preseason game. I watched Trevor Lawrence twice now just to see. It seems like the coaching staff, the offensive coordinator, can't figure out what to do with him. It was a weird hire on Urban's part. And
I don't think Urban's going to be there.
I don't either.
Super long.
I don't either. 2-3 years tops.
Nick Saban.
Yeah. It looks the same way. You got to hire the right personnel, and he clearly didn't. Unless Lawrence is that good that he
likes to hire his boys.
Supersees it. I don't know.
Urban always goes with his boys.
They've got good, even though Etienne is going to be out. James Robinson and Carlos Hyde are very good running backs. So you're and Martin,
Robinson.
Yeah,
he had 1,000 yards last year.
He had over 1,000. Yeah. Like 11 touchdowns.
ATN, by the way, is out for the year.
Yeah, DJ Shark, Marvin Jones. Yeah. They're good. They're good enough, right? They're not.
Marvin Jones, yeah. And they got this other kid. I'm not going to say who. Well, we had a long fantasy football show on Wednesday, but I've got a sleeper that I like on Jacksonville that has not been mentioned. But yeah, look, unless this kid is that good,
there's no that good. There's no good. You cannot be good enough to win if your offensive line sucks. Patrick Mahomes proved that last year. He might be the most talented quarterback any of us have ever seen. And he got his ass handed to him because he was on it the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You cannot be running for your life and be a good quarterback. It doesn't work in the NFL.
It's worrying, too, because, the Jaguars have the 23rd ranked offensive line going into the year, according to Pro Football Focus, so bottom third of the league. But, a lot of these quarterbacks, I feel like I watch them, and, they have potential, but they just have their brains ruined by playing on teams that are so shitty they don't actually get to learn anything.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence might get mind fucked into mediocrity.
It's PTSD basically. I mean, that's how it operates. Your brain builds connections between neural channels to shorten response time to protect you. Right. So the reason you flinch at something, if you've been abused before and you flinch like this, it is because your brain knows that whatever motion is happening is going to lead to pain. It's trying to protect you. That's how that works, right? So in the same way that David Carr got wrecked for his first 3 years in the NFL and then turned out to be, he lost all ability to operate in the pocket. Even if he had a good line at that point, he wouldn't have been able to do it because he's spending, this should be in your peripheral and you should be able to respond to it without interrupting your fucking progress reading, right? Progressing through your fucking 4 or whatever receivers.
Yeah.
If that is so distracting that you can't do this, then you can't do this. And this is what matters, right? That's how these guys get fucked up. Burrow is a very smart quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is obviously a very talented and smart quarterback as well, and this is stupid.
Wait, I'll go stupider with you based on what you just said. So 4 of the 5 starting offensive linemen were injured for their final preseason game against Dallas. Urban Meyer said he needed more reps with the team, so he started Lawrence. Now, it's Dallas, so obviously he torched them. He went 11 of 12 for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns and 3 drives in the Jaguars' victory over the Cowboys, which the Cowboys won, Sean, at all, one preseason game.
Sean, how do you feel? I'll go ahead and just flip the camera on. Yeah, there you go. This is Sean, everyone.
Does anybody care?
Hightower Sean.
Sean.
Hi.
You're wearing a Tim Dillon shirt.
Yeah. No, we're 0-4 in preseason.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
But the Ravens have won like 20 straight.
Yeah. Has an 0-4 preseason team ever made the playoffs?
An 0-4 team has won the Super Bowl.
In preseason?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, in 1997 or whatever?
Yeah. Or it was 95.
95, yeah.
So it's hard to remember because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
What was that, 30 years ago?
It's feeling like 95.
Yeah.
I feel 95.
I feel 22. Is that a good omen for the Cowboys
No.
to go 0-4?
Yes. Last time they were 0-4 in the preseason, they made the playoffs.
Look at this.
Both times.
This is how pathetic it is to be a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Like you're looking for shit in the tea leaves. It doesn't belong there. Every time somebody shits on my face, I have a really good day afterwards. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
That's true, right? When you get shit on by a bird, it's good luck.
I mean, I guess.
Would you rather be shit on or have your team go 0-4 in preseason?
You can ask OBJ that question.
Yeah, that is a question for him, not for us. I've never been shit on in person, which I don't know if that's good or bad. Not by an adult.
Not by an adult.
An adult.
Yeah.
An adult.
Child, maybe.
An adult human.
Yeah, child.
Like an adult.
Repeatedly.
An adult bird has definitely shat upon me before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the Cowboys going into this season opener, I don't believe they put any of their starters out for one series at all. So I don't know how you're gonna fare against the Buccaneers.
Wait, go.
Oh wait, I do. They're gonna. I've already put 1,000 on the game. They're gonna fucking lose.
Back to this Jacksonville thing. You said that 4 of their starting linemen were just out for the last preseason game, or they're out right now?
Don't know. They're currently injured and they're being evaluated as we speak. So
one of the 23rd worst offensive line in football has now lost 4 of their starters potentially, and they're going to put the number 1 draft pick and play football.
A preseason game. The last preseason game he played.
What the fuck?
Crazy town USA.
It begs the question though about draft strategy and stuff like that. Is there any real purpose in drafting a quarterback and then spending first round and lottery pick money on them? Because it's a schedule of payments now.
Yep.
For the top 13 picks in the NFL, you get a certain amount based on that, and there's some flexibility in how it's paid out, but you get that amount.
Right.
As the first round draft pick, as a second, as a third. Why spend the first on a guy that's going to get fucking wrecked like this? He's not going to contribute 100% to this team until he is allowed to by the rest of the players on the team. So why not draft a goddamn offensive lineman? Maybe that's why NFL GMs did it for fucking 60 years.
Yeah.
Before whatever, the internet, I guess. I don't know what the fuck happened here, but the fact that people are drafting all these skill position players, routes at like 7 quarterbacks in the first round of the draft sometimes. What the fuck are you talking about?
Speaking of which, the Falcons signed Josh Rosen last week as their backup.
The real chosen one.
Yeah, the real chosen one.
He's turning into clipboard Jesus.
He is gone from Arizona to Miami to Tampa Bay to San Francisco, now Atlanta.
All without playing a game.
Yes, and he did throw a touchdown there, so it looks like he might be the backup quarterback in Atlanta, which will assure them of a 4-13 existence this year for the Atlanta Falcons. So
sounds like he's got the best job in the world.
Thanks, guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. That guy was always a fucking turd to begin with.
I think the best job in the world right now belongs to whoever the number 2 in Jacksonville is. Because no one even knows what their name is, so there's no expectations, and they're definitely getting fucking playing time this year because Trevor Lawrence is going to get murdered.
He's going to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Favre's going to come in and win them 6 games. Let's go.
Minshew at Philadelphia, as a Philly fan, why are you not excited about this? It was only a 6th-round pick, so who cares?
I'm not excited about the Eagles at all this year.
Minshew, though.
Is he going to start?
For the city of Philadelphia. No, he's not going to start initially, but let's face it. With the fans in Philly, you got the Mississippi mustache there. You got to get him in. They're going to be chanting for it.
He'll have his little cult following. We'll win 3 games this year. Like, who cares?
I love
to suffer every Sunday watching this team.
Him throwing to Devonta Smith is kind of fun. I don't really give a shit about Jalen Hurts.
I guess. So Minshew can throw for, I don't know, every game he goes, 12 for 20, 126 yards, maybe a touchdown, maybe an interception. That's like his usual stat line. Like, that's what he does.
So you're not excited?
No.
I am excited.
I like him as a guy, but like he's not a good quarterback.
Come on.
No.
Just give him a chance. All you got to do is give Humpty a chance. And now I'm going to do my dance, okay? Mm-hmm. I think Minshew could be the spark that they need. It's a shitty division. Why not?
Well, it's not a shitty division, though. I mean, as much as
you hate
the
Cowboys,
as much as you hate the Cowboys, they have a lot of talent on that roster.
Cowboys are probably going to win 10 or 11 games.
If they put it,
because they play against us twice. Yeah. So
and the Giants twice.
And
Washington's good.
And
Washington's good.
Washington,
I got Washington winning that division.
We'll see about their offense, but they're going to allow somewhere between like 17 and 20 points a game. Yep. And that you don't have to do a lot to win games when you're doing that. The Ravens have proven that for the last 20 years now, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that Washington and Dallas are actually going to be pretty competitive. I think both of those teams will be in the playoffs probably, right? I mean, look at the rest of this goddamn conference.
Yeah.
It's not like the I mean, we'll see about the Bears. But the Lions,
Sean, is that you that just chimed in and said Cowboys cover against Tampa? What fucking world, dude?
I don't know if they beat Tampa Bay, but I think they'll cover.
I'll bet you 1,000 in real life.
What's
Sean?
the spread? But look at these.
I don't have that much in my account.
The NFC's weak. That's why I think the Saints at 35-1 to win the Super Bowl. Not a bad bet.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's gross.
I mean,
it's a good team.
No.
The Bears we'll see about, but the Lions are going to suck. The Vikings are going to be mediocre as always. The Falcons are going to be one of the worst teams of football. The Panthers probably will as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they going to do down there? And then the Saints, we don't know. Winston's probably going to throw another 30 picks, right?
No, he fixed
But if
his
he throws
eyes.
40
He fixed his
touchdowns,
eyes, so
There's no reason to believe that has changed anything. His efficiency in the preseason wasn't better.
No.
Right?
But you can see.
Well, we'll see. Arizona, no. The Rams, maybe.
Rams are going to be good.
I'm high on the Rams this year.
The
that was our
Rams-
me and
That's our
yours
Super Bowl
pick for the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm high on the Rams.
Damn, we both agree on the Super Bowl and the national championship. That's not a good sign.
Ooh. Who'd you guys pick for the national championship?
Georgia.
Speaking of,
that's no way.
Well, that's who Lee Corso picked as well. I don't know.
He
if you
picked
saw
Georgia?
He picked.
No, I didn't see it,
He has
actually.
Alabama out of the top 4. Actually, he has.
I've got Texas A&M upsetting Alabama this year.
I don't think his was. Hold on, let me look. I don't think his was.
And Herb Street, when he was on our show, said that was the best game of the year. I agree, and I'm looking forward to that. Wow. Who did Herb Street pick to win it all?
I don't know about Herb Street, but Corso picked Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, and Oklahoma.
Okay.
And Alabama left out. He said that history is not on their side for blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's
the number
accurate or
one
not.
team. No, what he's saying is the number one team never ends up winning at all. So he's close on that.
And
it's only happened a couple times.
He picked Georgia to win. He thinks they have it. I think that's
the natty.
I think that is a wishful pick. I think people want to see anybody other than Clemson, Ohio State, or fucking
Bama
win.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, fucking Georgia can do it. They're like Rocky fighting the big Russian right now. And people are picking them, but the Georgia Bulldogs will not win the national title.
No, it's a Georgia team. They're going to choke.
Right.
Stay far, far away from Oklahoma is all I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not touching
Do
Oklahoma.
not even.
No,
Spencer
dude.
Rattler stinks.
Spencer Rattler will probably win the Heisman Trophy,
No.
to be
No.
honest.
Yeah.
He's going to lose
But
2 games.
I agree.
But that team is not going to win the national title. There's no chance of that.
No.
That defense is...
Rattler's going to put up numbers in meaningless games, and then when push comes to shove, and he's put in like a spot where he has to be clutch, he's going to choke.
We'll see about that.
Because that's what he does.
And that's all about the media,
he's a
right?
chotch.
If the media presents the cases in that way, where hey, he's got big numbers, but a lot of them are hidden against these bad teams, that does affect people's Heisman candidacy. It depends on the media and how much they like him, though, right?
Yeah.
Because they manipulate the fuck out of this process every single year.
I put money on Sam Howell. I don't expect it to hit, but if he can lead North Carolina to win the ACC, I think he wins.
Doesn't the media? I mean, even before, so when it was BCS and it was like this weird voting kind of situation that happened, the media. That's why that Paul Feinbaum turd even exists, is because he was partisan, right? He's just a pundit that existed during a time when punditry was relevant.
They don't play nobody, pal.
And now no one gives a fuck about which conference or whatever. He's still like SEC, and people are like, just shut the fuck up. Dude. Although he did say today that Michigan should go ahead and fire Harbaugh. I know you don't want that to happen because you enjoy winning football games against them. But they probably should fire him.
Sean is in here saying Bijan Robinson is going to be a dark horse for the Heisman. That is a Texas running back. No, dude, stop with this fucking Texas bullshit. All the best players from Texas go
He's
to
not even a
Ohio
Texas
State.
fan, though. He's a T-State guy.
No,
He's a T-State guy.
I
He's a
like
Texas fan. So
I
he's
grew up a Texas fan.
Gross.
But-
He's a normal Texas State student.
Okay.
Yeah,
He roots for the
I
Horns.
graduated Texas State.
Both of those teams are beautiful disasters.
Listen,
the Longhorns
Brady
and the
McFootball
Cowboys.
is going to be one of the most interesting people in the Sun Belt.
Fuck yeah.
Quarterback for T-State.
Yeah.
dude.
800 yards in his last 3 games, no interceptions.
He's like a dollar store version of Johnny Manziel.
Oh, yeah. He's
Sick.
tiny, too. He's a little guy.
He's a small guy.
Yeah,
Dumb as a rock,
that's
too.
A fucking,
Oh, he's really
that's a
dumb.
Crazy pick. Taylor Made Jedi is saying Howell's going to win the Heisman. That's my dark horse for the Heisman. The quarterback for North
Howell?
Carolina.
Yeah. That's where I
a
got my
sexy
money.
pick.
So-
Is it really?
Yeah, I just said it.
I mean, you
no
play
shit.
North Carolina. You play enough good teams, right?
Yeah.
Just got to beat Clemson.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you don't necessarily have to beat Clemson to win the Heisman, but
I think they're
if he has
avoiding
a
them
good
too in
team.
the season. I think they would
Yeah.
only have
Yeah,
to
Oh,
play
you're
the
right.
only
ACC
catch him in the
championship.
and
Yeah.
that will definitely be the ACC championship game. Let's be real. It's not going to be Miami. Come on.
No, and they play Alabama first game out. So
And I think they open up in Virginia Tech. It's a winnable game. It's a tough environment.
Yeah,
But he's
it is.
definitely going to put up numbers. And now I think, look, if you
Because they just lost their 2 starting running backs, so it's all on him now.
who won the Heisman Trophy that the Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson was at Louisville putting up all those numbers? Who won the Heisman that year?
He did.
He did,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to.
But he didn't win it the next year.
No, I think he might have actually had better numbers too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
that's the
And he
point I
lost.
was making. If there is a perception that you're playing against shitbag teams, it affects things, right? Even if your season goes really well, I think that North Carolina plays enough good teams, and has become a good enough team now that's a better shot, right? I mean,
Right.
nobody considers a non-top 25 player for the Heisman, right? When's the last time that happened? That somebody won the Heisman from an unranked team?
Well,
Tough to
like
say.
people that are nominated, like Colt
no,
Brennan,
not
Hawaii.
nominated. One.
Okay.
One. Yeah.
Has that ever happened?
Let me look.
But that Louisville team, I don't think they had 3 or 4 losses. I don't know if they were.
I don't know if they were ranked
I
either.
thought they were ranked like 22nd or some shit like that
Okay.
at the end of the year.
because they lost to Houston.
Yeah, they were. They were ranked 21st at the end of the year.
21st,
9
yeah.
and 4.
A lot of people are asking us to go to that A&M Bama game. By the way, I didn't know College Station was only a couple hours away.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like 2
it's-
hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a.
It is the day before that Bills
Chiefs.
Chiefs game. We were thinking about going to Nebraska, Michigan. After watching that Nebraska game, I don't know that anyone will want us there or go to Nebraska anymore. They're done. Like
They
they're-
stink.
Yeah,
We said
They're
this
real
on-
bad. They're
Outside
real
the top
stinky.
25, like they need to let go.
yeah. They've got to let go for sure.
Like it's over. Like they're not like we like to shit on Texas and I love shitting on Tennessee, but like those programs probably will come back at some point.
Because
And
people want to
Michigan,
actually
too.
go to school there.
Yeah,
like nobody
Michigan,
wants to
too.
go to Lincoln.
No, Nebraska's over. Like they're like
They need to become transfer U.
They are like a disgraced like aristocracy family in England that like lost all their money like in a fucking Jane Austen novel. They're like, you know what I mean? Like the family was like lords in the like 200
No one knows
years
what you
before,
mean,
but they're
Rob.
broke
No
now.
one in our audience has read Jane Austen.
No, Yane. It's a soft J on that one. But I think you put Texas, Nebraska, Tennessee, and Michigan in that category of the old teams that everybody wants to be great again that just won't be anymore. They just can't get the recruits,
No,
and I don't think they'll ever come back.
Tennessee gets the recruits, and so does Michigan, and so does
Tennessee just makes all the wrong hires.
So does Texas. Yeah, those three schools get the recruits. Actually, I said this the other day on Twitter. You know what Nebraska needs to do? Just say fuck it and go back to the option. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Navy is a
Triple option.
Yeah, Navy's a problem doing that with nobody's on their team. So do it with 3 stars and just see what you fucking get. Because you're not going to get dudes running like 240s in Nebraska.
Do you think the transfer portal stuff is fucking everything up? Because it's certainly better for the players, no question about that. But is it better for the league? Because it was good 2 years ago because Burrow came in and had the best season ever.
Mm-hmm.
But typically what happens is you're a team, like you're one of the best teams. You have 3 quarterbacks that could start anywhere, and they have to fight for that job. Now you have 3 quarterbacks that could start anywhere, and 2 go start somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure. By the way, they are burning down Ohio State's quarterback room right now.
I'm sure, yeah.
They've got. They announced C.J. Stroud is starting, which I thought, but they got Jack Miller. They got fucking that kid from Texas, Quinn Ewers. I mean,
Quinn Ewers wasn't
there's
gonna play this
4.
year anyway.
No, he's not going to play this year. But the other kid's super young. There's 4 quarterbacks that could be starting for all of these
problem to
schools.
have.
It's certainly a good problem to have at Ohio State, but it's not a problem you have because there's other teams actively trying to recruit that guy now. Right?
Yeah.
And I honestly, for my school, I think the transfer portal's been helpful more than hurtful.
So it probably is for the smaller teams.
Yeah, for the smaller schools,
they
yeah,
otherwise
absolutely.
wouldn't get.
Yeah, we just literally brought over half the defensive line from Auburn to UCF.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great for the players. It's terrible for the programs and terrible for the sport. I liked the 1-year sit-out rule that they used to have if the school didn't release you because it makes it too easy. Just like Dan was saying, you don't fight for your position. If you don't like a coach, if you get in an argument, if you don't like a teammate, you're just transferring right away. So you can't build these teams. You can't put players together. It was already hard enough in college football with guys going to the pros. Now you have no consistency, no cohesion. Honestly, that's why UCF is so good is because they don't have these top-ranked guys and they can actually keep them for a few years and maybe put something together.
That's been the case in college basketball, right? The teams that are pretty good but not great are doing better than the great teams.
Right, Kentucky's all about getting guys into the NBA. Yeah. They don't care about winning national championships anymore.
Right. I mean, that's definitely. I would say the NFL less so on losing people. Or I'm sorry, the football losing people to the NFL because they have to be out of high school for 3 years anyways. But that's definitely an issue, and we see that. And if it works in the NFL that you bring in a quarterback and let him sit for 2 years and stuff like that, why wouldn't it work also with a much younger person? That's I think the gap between high school and college football is probably bigger than the gap between college, Division I, top 25 college football and the NFL. It's got to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's not even being addressed. These people get thrust right into the action.
Yeah.
And maybe it's.
I think it's recent success, right? You have all these guys like Trevor Lawrence coming in, playing their freshman year, and everyone just thinks they have to play immediately to just kind of be on the NFL's radar.
Right. The NFL, but that's stupid, though.
Yeah.
You only need one good year in college to make it in the NFL.
Right, but you want that as a player,
risky.
too. Internally, you want to be the guy. You've grown up your entire life being the dude, and now you went to the biggest school ever, and you want to be the dude from the very beginning. Internally, you can't. It's so hard to take that.
A lot of these schools also just over-recruit at the quarterback position anyway. The way you really want it, the way it should be is you're always looking for talent or whatever, but you should really have a quarterback plan where it's this guy's going to be the starter for 2 or 3 years, and there's a guy behind him who is going to be his backup as a freshman and probably going to start as a sophomore.
Right. In the case of Joe Burrow, for example, he wasn't going. He would have missed his prime window if he had stayed at Ohio State. He may have got time his senior year, right?
Yeah.
Why? Right. Go get. So you have the option, right? If you're the quarterback, get over there by your sophomore year so you can play your junior year, show the world what's up, and then have the option to stay or go to the NFL. That's the smart move, right? So why not?
Pretty average his first year at LSU too.
He absolutely. Well, that team was bad that year. But yeah, he was. We saw them play against fucking Alabama. Alabama lit them up 29-0. They didn't even come close to scoring in that game.
Yeah.
And then the next year he throws 60 touchdowns, right?
Right.
Yeah, we'll see. Bryce was officially named the starting quarterback of Alabama. Not that that's a huge surprise.
He'll
Bryce
be good.
Young.
Yeah. He's going to be real good.
Yeah.
Alabama will be real good.
Yeah, Alabama will be really good. We'll flip on over to basketball here. Everybody is joining the Los Angeles Lakers. There is a Rondo got traded, bounced
again,
bought out, and then rejoined the Lakers on a 1-year deal right now. And the next one is Andre
beautiful.
Drummond.
This team is a beautiful disaster.
Yes,
Drummond was on the Lakers, right?
No, Drummond just got traded to Sixers, I thought.
Yeah,
did we let him go?
They're trying to buy him out and have him potentially go there as well.
Okay,
or. It might be DeAndre Jordan. I get the two of them confused.
Okay.
But,
I was going to say
Drummond was on the Lakers.
Wait, no, DeAndre Jordan.
It might be DeAndre Jordan.
He's at the Nets, and he is best friends with KD.
Yeah.
That would be shocking to hear.
Hang on here.
That would be shocking to hear. But I mean, look, anything's possible. He wants to win titles like everybody else, I guess. I mean, this Lakers team is really starting to remind me of that Karl Malone Lakers team.
Yep.
It's look, man. It's not just you're not just filling out a roster of great names on a fucking piece of paper. You are putting together a squad that needs to work together. Look, some of these Olympic teams that have had legit the best players, the Dream Team was one thing. They were great enough that it didn't matter.
Right.
But if you just took the top 10 NBA players right now and put them on a team together, there's no guarantee that's going to be the best fit.
No.
Why would it be?
By the way, so I was incorrect. It is DeAndre Jordan. They're talking about a buyout with him currently right now. This is as of 3 hours ago, and his wish is to join the Lakers.
So what happened there? Because DeAndre Jordan is his best friend in the world is KD, right? Like that's the reason he brought him over there. He brought him over there the same way that Jordan would have brought over or kept Charles Oakley in Chicago if he had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, he legitimately went to the Knicks for a year just to kind of like scout the team to see if Irvin and KD wanted to go. He's like, we probably shouldn't be on the Knicks. Let's go to Brooklyn.
Right.
Yeah.
The other part about this is according to the New York Post right now. The Post has reported that they tried to move him via trade, and then nobody wanted to trade for him.
Yeah.
For Jordan?
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan stinks now.
He's washed.
He's so washed.
The Lakers are not winning a championship this year. For one thing, the West is like brutally deep.
Yeah, and Klay Thompson will be back.
Yeah, the Warriors will be back to like some level of like previous strength.
Denver will be good again.
Denver is going to be fucking awesome this year. I mean, it's just they're not doing it. Like they don't.
Utah will be solid like every year.
Yeah. So,
well, I mean, look at the Lakers roster, right? You know the main guys, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, right? And then you have Dwight Howard, Marc Gasol, Trevor Ariza, Carmelo Anthony, and
that's right, Carmelo's there.
Yeah.
Do they have a single person on the team that can shoot?
No.
Well,
I don't know. Actually, Anthony Davis can shoot.
Yeah.
Well, who's
Rondo can
shooting
shoot
threes?
now.
Yeah, that's true. When Rondo starts hitting threes in the middle of the playoffs.
Playoff Rondo is back.
I mean, Westbrook's not going to be good there. Like, that's not going to fucking work out.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a beautiful disaster.
How do you have him and Melo on the same team? Like, that's the same. You give that man the ball. Like, this makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Has anybody ever thought about coming up with some kind of algorithm that takes usage percentage and distributes it throughout 40 minutes of a game and sees what the best on-court average, right, should be, or distribution throughout a game should be? Because the Warriors talked a lot about this. When they first signed KD, that was the lamenting of everybody. Oh, there's not going to be enough shots. Well, if you run hard enough, there will be enough shots. All they did was just create more possessions in the game, so you create more inventory, and that makes sense, right? But if you're not able to create more inventory, if you have guys like Anthony Davis who aren't exactly fast, or guys like LeBron James who got a lot of miles on those legs, how are you getting up and down the court like that consistently, right? All the time? You can't create more shots. So the volume's not going to catch up with your lack of efficiency.
Right.
I don't understand how they win like that. It's just going to be people running into each other all the time. It's going to be like walking in China.
Yeah. Also, aside from Davis and LeBron, like, where's the fucking defense?
Walking in China.
Dwight Howard can play defense. He just chooses not to for some reason. God, we talk.
Marc Gasol is leaving. So they're worried that he's going to bounce,
dead,
and they're going to replace him.
Trevor Ariza used to be a pretty good 3-and-D guy now, but he's 36, so I don't know.
Like, all these are old as fuck. Like, first off, this team.
DeAndre Jordan's only 33.
But he's dead. He's got his legs are 40.
He's still an above-average power forward in the league.
Is a good backup.
Defensively, he's a good backup.
They're going to be.
I think
guess
he's a liability.
It's going to be hard to get to the rim, I guess, against them in terms of just like a lot of length.
It's all the bodies are clogging the lane, so it's just like light this team up from three. Like,
let's be real about that. If DeAndre Jordan and Anthony Davis are in the game together at the 4 and 5,
and Dwight Howard,
and they're not going to do that. Well, who knows what'll happen? But if they're in the game together and there's a high screen and roll against the Warriors with Draymond and Steph and Klay, how do you defend that? Because those two dudes can't do it. There's no way. No. They'll trip over their own legs trying to do that at this point.
This team is going to be they're so fucking old that they're not going to play enough games together to get a 1 seed, right? So they're going to be middle of the fucking pack in the West.
Didn't we see that just this year with fucking the Nets? Isn't this the exact fucking playbook
Lakers
that just
too.
failed?
Yeah.
We're a 6th seed this year?
No, they were in the playing game.
What I'm talking about,
what
I'm talking about is a team that was so banged up over the year. They only had 8 games played together with their starting 5.
Yeah.
Right. And that part of that was Harden coming over late, but they only had before the playoffs started, the Nets starting 5 had only played 8 total games together.
Yep.
That's not great.
It's not great.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's not great.
You're right. If they're banged up all year and Kent Bazemore is getting a lot of fucking time on the court, then they're fucked.
They're fucked. So that means you catch like a Denver or a Utah, or who is the other really good team in the West this year that was interesting?
Phoenix.
Or Phoenix. You catch one of those 3 teams in the second round
You mean
minimum.
the team that went to the finals?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I went almost.
They're pretty good.
They're okay.
Have they done anything to improve this year?
They re-signed Paul. I don't know what else they did.
Not a lot. But they didn't need a lot, to be honest with you.
They signed that guy from the stands.
That's right. Suns in 4.
Yeah, he works for them now.
Suns in 4.
I would be. Denver's going to win the West, I think, this year. I think Denver probably would have won it if Jamal Murray hadn't gotten hurt. So
maybe that Denver Warriors matchup is really interesting, depending on how I think the Warriors are going to move some pieces around this year. I don't think that Wiggins is going to be on the roster at the end of the year.
I would hope not.
I mean,
why did they trade for him?
Who the fuck
Maple
knows?
Jordan?
Yeah,
I don't know, but I don't think he'll be on the roster by year's end. I think they're trying to keep those young kids, and the only other option they have is to get rid of him, which is, I think, a good option anyways. They have a pretty good front office.
They'll probably try to trade Wiseman, too.
Yeah. Look, it'll be a fun season in the NBA. Looking forward to it. These shows are always fun. We appreciate you guys joining us. We have bangers.
We do, but we have a little bit more real quick.
I'm gonna get to you, Giorgio.
I'm gonna need that minute.
Messi played his first game for PSG.
He did.
Broke all the records in Spain. For viewership, by the way.
He's in France.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't fucking care. But it broke the records in Spain.
Yes, for the watch along. Well, Barcelona is still trying to be its own country, so we can talk about that as well.
Yeah.
Catalonia.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is Chelsea held to a 1-1 draw against Liverpool. We got sent down to 10 minutes at the end of the first half. Kai Havertz scoring with a great looping header to start off the match. We thought Chelsea was going to come home with that dub, but it was great to go to Anfield, hold off, keep that draw against Jurgen Klopp's really talented team. And sky's the limit for Chelsea right now. If you're talking about betting, though, go ahead and put those UEFA Champions League bets in early. I think Bayern Munich's like plus 750. PSG's plus 300. I kind of want to stay away from that. I think they're going to blow it again. Liverpool's plus 8, and Chelsea's about plus 750 as well to go back-to-back. There's really good money there if you spread it around a little bit. Some of the Spanish teams and Italy teams are a little weak this year, so look for an English final.
Mm-hmm. Yes, all of those bets are available on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros will double your deposit. They're going to match it, whatever you put in. If you're a first-time subscriber to them, or what do you call that there? Subscriber.
Customer.
Entrepreneur, because you're making money with my bookie.
Yeah, I like that.
Investor.
I like entrepreneur better.
Yeah.
We've been able to house it this weekend. All of us did really well this weekend across the board with all of it, including the Jake Paul fight last night. Paige Van Sant, 10,000 at the USO. Sean's going to cut that clip up, and we'll post that just as a reminder that you lost $10,000 to me. So go ahead and ship that over to the USO. A big check is cool, or a tiny one, whatever you want to do. That's always fine.
I don't think you can deposit the big check.
I don't think you can either. It
doesn't go in.
It won't go through the ATM.
What are we going to fucking just redo all of Happy Gilmore here? Let's move on.
I think there's a really big ATM now.
Screenshot.
We
with the
should.
app?
That actually might work.
Yeah, if you take a screenshot on the app.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And as always, go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. We have a monstrous week here on Drinkin' Bros Sports. College football is back with the good teams this week. Dan and I will be doing the Top 25 show tomorrow. Wednesday is the Marathon Draft Special. That'll be 6 hours straight. You, the listeners who are in the league, will be able to zoom in for some of those.
Okay.
For some of the teams. That is all day on Wednesday. And then Thursday nights is the watch-along for
Also
Ohio
Wednesday,
State
I guess,
versus
is our
Minnesota.
outside the top 25 show, too.
On Wednesday?
We got to talk about that, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have a baby
Oh, you got a baby coming.
flying out on Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, is that Wednesday?
Yeah, that's 2 days from
Holy
now.
shit.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow then you might get the top.
I could fill in. I know nothing about football, but I'm here.
And we got
That's right, Bob. You're gonna have you'll be a father in a week.
Well, I prefer daddy.
Wouldn't it'd be kind of funny if Tony won? Tony Finau.
Ugh, I hate that guy. He's the worst. They keep trying to make Tony Finau happen, and it's just not. It's not going to happen. Even after that playoff win, they were like, "Oh my God, he's bad. He's going to be awesome." No, he's not going to be awesome. He's 30 something already.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the guy. But Wednesday, again, all day fantasy football, 6 hours. We will Zoom you in. I've already talked to a few of you, so I'll send you a Zoom link. You'll be in on that. Shapiro's show is tonight. And then on Drinkin' Bros Patreon, we recorded Range 15 Watch Along with Jack Mandeville, Jesse, and myself doing some cast commentary on that film, and that'll be available as well on Drinkin' Bros Patreon.
And Jack also joined us on Softcore History, which drops tonight.
Yes. What time tonight?
Tonight's where the audio goes out whenever.
Okay, and then the video is
tomorrow night at probably 8.
Great. So subscribe to Drinkin' Bros History Podcast. Subscribe to Softcore History. Anything else from you, Mr. Giorgio?
A big UFC coming up this weekend as a fight night. We got Derek Brunson back in action against Darren Till. This will see if Darren Till really is done with his career as we think he is.
See if Darren Till can lose his way into a title shot.
Yeah. Exactly. But the biggest fight of the evening is the first fight of the main card. We get to see the UFC debut of Paddy Pimblett, the Scouser bastard from Liverpool, throwing crazy knees, crazy flying kicks. Go and look up his highlight reel. It's his first fight in the UFC as a 16-3 competitor. He's another 155-pounder, and he is dangerous.
Also, they did announce the fight at Madison Square Garden in November. That is a nasty card, dude.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's one of the best I've ever seen.
They just added Rose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thug Rose is going to be on that as well.
I think Michael Chandler versus Gagey's on that as well.
It is, yeah. They're on that. And who's the fucking headliner? I mean, it's such a crazy card that I'm like, 3 of those fights could be headliners.
It's Kamaru versus Colvington.
Oh, that's right.
It's Usman, baby. It's
right,
Usman.
dude. I got Colby in that. Let's go.
Not a prayer.
Wow.
Not a single prayer.
We'll see.
Best in the biz.
We'll see. We'll see. Thank you for joining us, kids. For D'Anthony Holloway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, Papa Giorgio, and I guess we'll throw Hightower Sean in there just because he's going to kill himself in 2 to 3 weeks after the Cowboys win. I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Monday Morning Recap. Good morning, everyone.